Welcome back, students. Master Spleen in the building. So, in today's video, I have the pleasure to present you the amazing run that our Dean CountXevious did in the HQ tournament. For those who don't know this HQ tournament, it's a tournament organized on an Indian Discord server that takes place at the beginning of months and that gather a lot of the top players. So in this tournament, CountXevious went 6-1, reaching the 210th spot in the global leaderboard. And funnily enough, another Belgian did super well in this tournament because Silph swept the tournament with an impressive 7-0 win. In today's video, we are going to focus on the run of CountXevious. You will have his team just here on the screen. So his team is Hypno, Ninetales, Probopass, Munchlax, Primeape, and Mandibuzz. What stands out for me right now is this Munchlax, because I don't know for you, but it's super rare to see a Munchlax in this cup. So my first question to you, Dean, will be, how do you came up with this Munchlax idea?
Well, to be honest, it was kind of an accident. In a way, I use Munchlax in Sorcerer's Cup, and I know how dominant it can be against the likes of Frostlass and stuff. And I also know some of its key matchups, like Munchlax against Xylos. In the zeros, it picks up Xylos if you have one lick advantage. And in the zeros, if the Primeape decides to go straight Night Slash, you can go Bulldoze and take it out. And yeah, I was hoping there would be a lot of Hypnos, there would be Steel types, and also Ninetales. It has a lot of coverage moves, basically. One of the main reasons I put it there, it's like a good RPS breaker, in essence that you can swap in your Munchlax, it gives you a shield advantage, and then yeah, you can use your the bulky mons to absorb some energy and then try to win with the shield advantage that you have.
Yeah, I remember when we were talking about team building. Before the starting of the cup, you came up with this idea of Munchlax, and I was like, frankly, to be honest, quite skeptical because if you looked at, let's say, the three main players of this cup, in my opinion, that are Primeape, Mandibuzz, and Frostlass. Primeape and Mandibuzz at least on they really walled Munchlax, but indeed, as you are saying, you have this RP breaker with Munchlax. So let's jump to the battles and see how you did throughout those 7 rounds.
All right, so round 1, I go up against PSI X Neon. He is actually one of the moderators of the tournament. It was really funny to pull him up in game 1. So he has a very spicy team, and I really liked playing against it. It was really difficult to work around, but I think I used Munchlax in all of my games, and I think he did so well.
Yeah. So what stands out from his team just right now? You have a grass type mon with Venusaur. I do believe that it's quite unusual to see grass type mons. Actually, doesn't do well against your team because you have the Hypno, you have the Ninetales, and you have the Mandibuzz that are quite strong. The Venusaur, he has the Dugong to debuff you, and a Drift Beam as well. That I think it's crazy because. When it comes to flyers, we are more seeing Mandibuzz, obviously, and even more Mantines and Pelipers taking the flyer roles than the Drift Beam.
Exactly, and one of the things that I actually noticed is that, what is it called? If I get Crustle out of the way, I can do quite a lot of damage with my Hypno. Basically, 2-1 shields, Hypno wins all of these guys. So that was my goal, basically. I'm not sure if I played Hypno game 1, but my goal was to get shield advantage and try to close with the Hypno. Alright, game 1 I lead Munchlax into Crustle. This is exactly what I wanted.
Yeah, exactly. And how this matchup goes, the Munchlax against the Crustle, I assume that if you land the Bulldoze, you take out the win, obviously. But those
Uh,
body slams should be resisted.
exactly. But no, you don't win this matchup even if you land the bulldoze. My goal here is to threaten him enough that he shields. Because I want my Kanto Ninetales to be really healthy and then try to do something. And he overfarms. Unfortunately, he did not throw his move, which, as it's a very bulky Munchlax, so it got me a 2 shield advantage, and I was so happy.
Yeah, that's huge because now you can just farm down with the Probopass. Basically, all those moves you can resist them. And here comes the counter. And even if you have a 2 shield advantage, Whiscash is rough for your backline because it has very positive matchups against the Kanto Ninetales and against Probopass.
Exactly. It has positive matchups, but my goal basically was to get a shield advantage so that I can make, let's say, this positive matchup a little less positive. I was, basically, I know that the Wishcash is out, I know that the Crustle is out, so my probe is free to play at the back. So I just need to get this low enough that a probe's Rock Slide can KO, and whatever is at the back is going to lose to the Probopass. Even if it's a Venusaur, I have enough energy advantage to, what is it called? Take it out with a Rock Slide. Because if you have one spark advantage, you pull it off in the 1 shields. And since Rock Slide is neutral, even if it's a Venusaur, I'm not really afraid here.
And that's interesting, the choice you made to go with the Spark Probopass rather than the Rock Throw, because I do believe the Rock Throw is let's say a bit more common than the Spark here, and you might maybe explain us why you decide to go with Spark.
Yeah, well, the only reason I go to Spark is it suits my playstyle. I like to play shield pressure, and Spark gives me shield pressure. Here, I knew that he definitely wanted to overfarm because he needs the energy to be able to kill my Probopass and also take out my Alola Ninetales because I was very close to a Weather Ball. So basically, he overfarmed and I could get to Rock Slides, and that settled my game.
Yeah, that was a very good showcase in game 1 or on how Munchlax can really break this RPS game, and you were able to go up 2 shields, and that was decisive for the rest of the game.
And game 2, I decided to make a small modification. I think I went with Primeape instead because I noticed that he's bringing Wishcash and Venusaur, and I didn't want my let's say probe to get like walled. So let's see game 2. So Munchlax against Gal. This is great because you get to the body slam just before the Gal gets energy for the lunge, and in the 1 shield you win this matchup. So I'm pretty happy to see the Gal now and not on my Primeape. And at this point I just don't shield.
Yeah, you are using a lot this Munchlax as just a tank here to take out moves and to try to get shield advantage.
Exactly, and at this point here I'm okay with this because I can lick this down without having a lot of problems, and I'll have a body slam stored. Basically, what I want to do now is whatever happens I swap into my probe, because if there's a Wishcash, I want it out, which worked out for me. And I'm just gonna no shield and just try to do as much damage with the rock slides as possible here.
Yeah, and Rock Slide is the way to go against the Whiscash, even if it's resisted. At least you have stab, and basically this is a very unpositive matchup but at least you can do some nice cheap damage, as we can see, and you swap aggressively onto the Munchlax here, forcing
Yeah,
the last shield,
and
you
Munchlax is
are
bulky that he has to throw
right
the
there
energy. And
to
now I have a shield
during
advantage. I can come in with my
the
Primeape and I can tank one, what is it? One Mud Bomb, whatever. It's no problem for me. Farm it down, and one close combat should take out the Crustle. But I'm over farming here just in case, so that I can have a Night Slash back. So that the Wishcash doesn't throw a Mud Bomb at me.
for the Whiscash. That's the smart move, and really a good advice is to keep in mind is that Primeape basically always wins CMP in this cup, so that could be a good strategy for you out there playing. To keep in mind that in certain games, just over farm a bit, and if you have a move ready for the last opponent, it's a CMP, you will win the CMP. So if you have a move that KOs your last opponent, Primeape is really an amazing user for that in this cup.
Yeah, exactly. And that's basically sometimes how I used Primeape in this cup. The next matchup for me is against Hot Chocolate. I correct, Hot Chocolate, not Hot Pocket. Unfortunate. But yeah, he has a pretty spicy team, to be honest.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I like the Magnezone, I like the Diggersby. Those are a bit of meta picks, but not that much of meta. But very interesting picks. And Magnezone is, if you land the Wild Charge, you can even beat the Alolan Ninetales, the Kanto Ninetales, for example. So this could be a massive threat for your team. And Diggersby is such a tank as well, and that's going to be a very hard wall to Probopass, hard wall to the Kanto Ninetale, and even if the Primeape has a positive matchup, given that Diggersby is part normal, Diggersby is such a tank that it's not that easy for the Primeape to beat him down.
Yeah, exactly. But either ways, when I saw his matchup, the first thing that came to my mind is that Mandibuzz, he doesn't have any real counters for Mandibuzz. He has Zweilous and let's say Frostlass, but Mandibuzz still has picks up Zweilous in the zeros, picks up Frostlass in the zeros. Does pretty well against Kanto Ninetales, does pretty well against the Magnezone in the zeros. So I was definitely going to use my Mandibuzz, and probably I'm going to use my RPS breaker just in there so that it soaks up some damage and does what it does best, gives me a shield advantage. And that's basically my thinking right about now.
Yeah, just need basically the Munchlax must avoid at any cost. I think the Diggersby, because that will be a tough match for the Munchlax.
Exactly, and even if it's a tough match, what I usually do is I go zero shields and try to get it as low as possible, and then see what I can do from there. So let's see what happens. All right, game number 1, Hot Chocolate.
Yeah.
000. I need to ask him why he put 000 in his name.
Maybe Hot Chocolate was already taken.
But 3 zeros instead of 1. All right, here we go. Primeape lead into Frostlass. I like this lead.
Okay.
And what I usually do is I always try for the CMP tag and hope that they also throw at the same time. This way I avoid the sneak.
Yeah, a sneak. It's an interesting matchup here. It's totally IV dependent. If your opponent is running a very good Frostlass, he can pick up the one shield because he will survive this night slash. But you always have the choice. You decided to swap into the Munchlax. I assume to just give this one lick advantage you were talking just earlier on.
Exactly. He brings in his Zweilous, and I'm really happy with this because In the zeros, I win, even if he lands his Dark Pulse or even if he goes straight Body Slam. I got Lick Advantage, and what I also got is that the Frostlass is pretty low now. There's a high possibility that he tries to swap in to throw his move into my fast move, and that can pick me a win. And there goes his Wireless in the zeros. You just needed one Lick, and I had plenty of Licks advantage. So yeah, again, Munchlax coming in clutch for me, and this is totally fine for me. I don't really mind. What I can do here is basically come in with the Primeape, possibly shield this, and then do as much damage as I can. And what happened there was he swapped in his Frostlass into my counter. Because it was mid counter animation that he threw his Mirror Shot, but unfortunately for him, he immediately swapped so that he took the burnt of my counter into his Frostlass before he could throw.
Yeah, and here we just saw our Mandibuzz is such a tank because he was just out there taking a wild charge into the face and just surviving easily. And that's a GG because you have a move stored with the Primeape to close the game.
Yeah, it was a very close game. So what I also realized is that in game one he did not bring his let's say Diggersby or you know, Zweilous as a lead. So I decided to just go with Ninetales because I was expecting him to counter my game one lead. So yeah, that's basically what I did. Anyways, basically I saw him running Frostlass and Mag, and I was like, all right, I can use my Kanto Ninetales for this.
Yeah.
And yeah, game two I get a mirror match, and he decides to
switch
swap
out. True.
This I like very
Giving
much.
Yeah, giving you switch that was a bit weird for me, but because now you can just farm down the entire virus.
Exactly, and I now have plenty of energy. Whatever comes in is gonna take a lot of damage. So I let him throw Fire Spin so that he doesn't sneak, and then I throw my Night Flashes. So what I do here is just go straight Night Flashes and chip it down as much as I can. And I get to another one. So he got a bit greedy trying to farm me down, but yeah. So here it's totally okay for me to tank all of these moves, and I can still survive because Kanto Ninetales is really bulky, and the only Pokemon that I'm afraid of at the back right now is not really anything. Because with the shield advantage, I think I can pick out almost all of his backline, and that's what I was going for. And it's a Magnezone, so I didn't really need a shield advantage. I kind of expected it to be a Magnezone because he didn't swap, and yeah, this should. And
that's
where
the ball just hurts a lot, the Magnezone.
Yeah,
it's
unfortunate.
Very good adaptation. Very good adaptation on your side, and I think that Hot Chocolate, by giving up switch, I think made a mistake in this second game.
Yeah, exactly. Switching into Zweilous, I think he was afraid of my Munchlax swap in, maybe. But I still think that if he didn't, it would have been a bit more closer than what it was. And this is, I think, game number 3. It's also a very interesting team. This team has much more solid answers to let's say Mandibuzz, but I still have like let's say in the zero shields, Mandy and Melmetal is very close. I think it's 495, but it's barely a win for the Mandibuzz. So I'm happy to play the zeros. I'm happy to play the zeros against Zweilous, against the Frostlass, against Hypno, against Primeape. So basically I know Mandibuzz is going to be my key to win, and I need to get either this Melmetal and Crustle out of the way for it. So basically that's my game plan.
So pairing the Mandibuzz with the Primeape is the way to go for you in this game, in your opinion.
Yes. That's what I think I did. I'm not sure, but let's see. And yeah,
Game
so I
one,
lead Mandy,
yeah,
and I'm very happy with this
into
because I can
Primeape.
play.
Yeah, and
And-
PvPoke is saying that this matchup is positive for the Primeape, but in reality, as you are just saying, the Mandibuzz can just go no shield, and the Primeape will have to shield at some point if he wants to take to win the lead.
Exactly. And I played this game out before I kind of came into the realization that Primeape and Mandibuzz is like there's a turn difference. So yeah, basically that's what I did. I swapped in my Primeape because he was debuffed, and if there was a Hypno, I wanted to bait it out, and I timed my fast moves in such a way that I take as less damage from the confusion as possible, and I simultaneously KO.
Yeah, that's the amazing Primeape Hypno counter confirmed just now.
Yeah, and I bring in my Munchlax
Then we have the
yeah. Go on, Sergio.
yeah, just to soak. I assume that you just brought the Munchlax to soak some damage to force your opponent to throw his energy at you. So
Exactly.
that's yeah how you have been using the Munchlax since the beginning of the tournament. So it makes sense.
And I did this because I know that Xylos has to get to 2 body slams, but it's not there yet, and I will get to the air slash. So at this point, I have a shield advantage. So if the Primeape decides to throw close combat, I can shield it, and then I can try to snarl it down. And even if I don't get to snarl it down, it's at a range where 1 lick and a half will kill it. So I shield the close combat, and he gets to another one, and I know that this is not a close combat. So I was kind of very scared, but it was not a close combat, and I just snarled the Primeape down.
Yeah, GG. Game 2. How do you decided to adapt seeing your opponent's first game?
Well, game 1 I led Mandibuzz, so I thought maybe he tries to lead something that counters Mandibuzz. He didn't have a great time with the Primeape. So I'm just going to lead. I just thought I would lead Primeape, expecting a Crustle or a Melmetal. But unfortunately, he leads Primeape. I also made the small modification of going with Hypno because I saw him use Primeape. This is unfortunate because now I'm afraid of this Xylos at the back, and I'm not sure what my Hypno can do.
And that's why you are sacking your Hypno, just to soon to bait out the Xylos.
Exactly.
And here it comes.
And I know this is a body slam. But I barely survived this, and I can get the Ice Punch. If he shields, I'm happy. I can use my Primeape to do a lot of damage to this, and that's basically the goal. It will get to a body slam, but I can do a lot with my Primeape here.
Yeah, basically, if you shield and farm down, you can be loaded on energy of the
Exactly. But this is also going to come really, really close. Dragon Breath is going to do a lot of damage to the Primeape, and I'm just praying that I survive. And whatever happens, I'm just going to throw the Night Slash. It's a Hypno, unfortunate for me. He also gets a confusion through, so I immediately transfer it into my Mandibuzz. And the Primeape, unfortunately for him, is too low, so I'm just gonna shield, and I know I can beat the Hypno even if it has a huge shield advantage with Mandibuzz, because Mandibuzz is
because
so
even I short punch from a Hypno into a Mandibuzz. Frankly, it's not that frightening that you might assume it will be.
Exactly, and yeah, it's not a Shadow Hypno also, so I was pretty happy shielding my Mandibuzz there and saving a lot of HP. just to let's say outbulk the fast
Yep.
moves from the Hypno. And at this point he gave up because he saw how much an Ice Punch did. And as you see, Munchlax has put a lot of work for me.
Yeah, definitely. So far, it's definitely your MVP. I understand why you talk that highly of Munchlax throughout your run there.
Exactly, it's so good. And this is another team, Instinct Gotham. It's I guess now round 4. As you see, like Munchlax has play against all of these. Against Wishcash, it needs to land the Blizzard to win. In the one shields, in the zeros, it should go straight Blizzard, but not a lot of people know this, so I hope that, I just play out and see what happens. Crustle is the only real Munchlax counter, and it's the only real Pokemon that I'm afraid of. I know Galv in the zeros, I can win it with my Mandibuzz. I know I can beat all the others in the zeros with my Mandibuzz. So I'm kind of happy here running Munchlax and Mandibuzz together.
I'm interested to see the Galate. It's a squishy mon, but could be quite interesting as a fighter. And let's see if he has charm. It's a charm
Okay.
Galate.
All right, let's see. So game 1, I lead Munchlax into Galvantula. I'm super happy again because I want to see the Gal here. And and he does this amazing swap, which
Catching
which
the
I guess,
body slam.
yeah. And I kind
But
of
it still
made a
is.
mistake. Go on.
Yeah, it's still positive matchup, but I mean you should have come with the Hypno. That's what you were saying, I assume.
Exactly. That was my mistake. I should have come into the Hypno because I don't know what he has at the back. But I also had prepared in such a way that I know that Hypno can win all of these in 2-to-1s. Unfortunately, he did in shields, so I'm just gonna farm this guy down. And I know if it's a Galade, it's gonna. I mean, even if it throws a lunge or a discharge, I would be able to survive. But it's a Wishcash, so
Yeah.
I'm in a very precarious situation, and I swap in my Munchlax because I know that if he comes in with this Gal, I'm happy. I just soak up all of this and make him commit a shield, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And if you didn't notice, I had saved up a Rock Slide on my Probopass. So if I get him, to, let's say, throw all his energy, I can Rock Slide him and make him commit. And he undercharged here, which was a huge mistake from his part. I got to another body slam.
Yeah.
This guy is so tanky, and I got the shield.
And
At
now
this point,
now you can just rock slide with the Probopass, I guess.
exactly. Yeah, and I saved the Rock Slide, and he did not. He was one away from his move, and then I immediately swap into Hypno. And Hypno can take this in if it has a shield advantage, basically.
Yeah, and Hypno with even in even shields, it's a pretty favorable matchup for the Hypno. Just as we can see, he can tank easily a Blizzard because it's a very bulky mod. This Shadow Ball is going to hurt the Whiscash.
Yeah, exactly. And I kind of built my team differently in the essence that when people are all going for Mandibuzz plus a lot of, let's say, Pokemon that are not really bulky, I put like 4.5 bulky Pokemon on there and 1 Primeape that just loses and that's not bulky at all. And that's really helping me because I can tank and they cannot. They need to shield, I don't have to. So I win game 1 and I'm going into game 2 basically. Thinking like exact same strategy. I won game 1, so I can do the exact same thing for game number 2. And yeah, Munchlax into Galv.
We have the Galv lead, and this time he's staying in.
Yeah, this time he's staying in, which I like. He's probably going to lunge me, which I'm going to take. I don't really mind. I just need shield advantage at this point. And I know I will get to another body slam before he gets to another lunge. And he swaps immediately, so this time I go into the Hypno.
And
So
now
my
with shield advantage, it's positive for you. I mean,
exactly, it's much more positive for me. And what I can do here is tank one Aqua Tail and throw the let's say Ice Beam, Ice Punch, and that should take out the Dragonair. What's also nice is I have one more Confusion in, and I can get to my second Ice Punch. So I know this Gal
exactly.
will not. Yeah, I think
Ooh,
I
that's
underestimated
the
the Gal.
appetite.
Yeah. So I'm hoping and praying here he didn't bring the same lineup, but he did.
And he did.
So this time around, I think I just lose. If I swapped in my probe into the Dragonair, this match would have been done and dusted. But this is gonna make it really, really close, or even basically me losing it. Because I mean, as bulky as Probe is, but as bulky as let's say Munchlax is, Wishcash is also equally bulky. And yeah, here I'm hoping please overfarm, don't throw. But he does. He does very well there.
Because that's true that another body slam could have changed the game, but now those mud bomb, they are super effective and they are doing some huge damage.
Yep. And yeah, he swaps into his Galvan and does this combo play and takes me out.
Yeah, nice adaptation by your opponent that read as well that you were coming with the same line and that played differently, at least this time. That was interesting to see.
Yeah. So yeah, basically. And what I did this time around is I noticed he was leading his Gal, so I decided to use the same lead because Munchlax really doesn't lose to anything in his team. I mean, it loses the Crustle, but it's very close. And if the Crustle is out of the way, then my Mandibuzz is going to have a field day. And if the Mandibuzz is, let's say, if the Gal is out of the way, then my Hypno is going to have the field day. So basically, that's my game plan here. Use Munchie, as you know, tank everything and deal with the backline with the other two tanks that I have.
The X-Scissor.
And I usually go body slam here.
Yeah, this time you go straight bulldoze. No shield on your opponent, and that's huge.
Exactly, and I'm kind of happy here with this because at this point I know that the Crustle is not going to get to another charge move, and I can potentially farm down. So I can choose whatever I want to farm it down with, and I'm still going to have a really good time. So I choose Hypno because I know with an energy advantage I can take on Galvantula if he swaps in, and if he swaps in his Gal, I'm happy because my Mandibuzz is now free to play at the back.
Yeah, and interestingly as well, I think I'm pretty sure Hypno wins the 2 shield against the Galvantula. Just because of the raw power of confusion.
Exactly. It also wins the one shields if you land the ice beam, ice punch bait and then land the shadow ball. But I just go straight ice punch here because I think he wants to let's say save his Gal. So I'm kind of happy with this. So I'm very happy committing 2 shields because whatever I have, whatever is at the back, loses to what is it called? Mandibuzz in the 0 shields. So it's a Gallade. I'm hoping it's not a Charm Gallade because if it is, I would be having a lot of problem. But it's a Confusion Gallade. Yeah, I'm very happy.
Yeah, and because even if the Gallade reaches the close combat, it's not going to be enough to take you out. You decide to go with the foul player, I assume, to be able to farm it down just after and throw a move at the Galvantula.
Yeah, I did all of this wrong. I should be throwing air relays on the Gallade and then the foul play on the Gal, but it worked out. I was pretty ahead and I was very confident at that point that, you know, I was like, all right, whatever, I got this game, and foul play is still going to be in neutral because of you know, Gal being part psychic. So I was happy with the farm down, and I knew that close combat won't take me out.
And Gallade is a classy mon. It's hard, but it's a classy mon. And for the round 5, I guess we have you against Tufches. Tufche is another Belgian trainer. It happens that was the one to sweep this tournament with a 7-0. So what were your thought process when you saw his team? I'm seeing this interesting Quagsire on his team that stands out, and that could be a problem for the team.
Yeah. The thing is, if you have high enough stat product Mandibuzz, you can take Quag in the zeros. And I also know that if I have, let's say 2-to-1 shield advantage, Ninetales can sweep his team. Even if it's a Quag, Ninetales doesn't care if you have the shield advantage. So 2-to-1 is what I'm going for and trying to push for. So basically, I'm going to use 2 bulky tanks and try to close with the Ninetales. That's my game plan. So it's Munch into Mandibuzz, pretty much the worst possible lead that I can get. But
Yeah,
I'm just going to
exactly.
play this out.
Because
and,
those leaks are resisted, but body slam you can handle. Would be.
Exactly. He goes. What is it called? Air Lace. I do not know why. Probably because he wanted to farm a little bit more of my Munchlax, or he doesn't want to show whether he has Foul Play or Dark Pulse. So my goal here is basically play the zero shields. I don't care how much damage this Munchlax is going to take. I'm just going to do as much damage as I can with these body slams. What I also notice is that he doesn't want to swap in, which is nice for me, because whatever's at the back is going to have troubles with my Munchlax. So I'm already knowing that it could either be a Quag or something like let's say a Primeape. Yeah. So at this point I come in with my Munchie to soak up as much energy as possible from my Mandibuzz to soak up as much energy as possible. And he accidentally clicks on a Foul Play. I guess he was spamming it, and it's unfortunate for him. But yeah.
And here you are using the Mandibuzz to tank this energy that was loaded up on the opposing Mandibuzz, and as well charging up energy to threaten the next mon that will just came in.
Exactly. I'm expecting a Quag or a Gallop. Or even a Frostlass. I don't care whatever it is, but I have a lot of energy advantage, and I'm just going to play this out as much as I can. Him bringing in the Quag makes me think that it's something that's weak to Ninetales at the back. Because let's say none of his other Pokemon can deal with Ninetales. So I'm sitting very, very happy right now that I'm seeing the Quag here. So I'm just going to play this out, and I know my Mandy barely survived this. And I'm hoping I could get to another one, but I do.
Yeah.
And that's huge.
Yeah, I think Mandibuzz can tank two Stone Age from Quagsire and barely survive. Obviously, it's going to depend on your IVs, but
exactly. And here I have. Yeah, and here I was like really happy. I knew that when he was not switching, I knew it was Primeape at the back. And I was just going to shield once again and farm down, but I made this huge mistake here. I think I decided to shield this. I don't know why. I was very nervous and I made this huge mistake, and this is going to cost me the game because I even tried to undercharge, but yeah, this was a win. I was just nervous.
That's really too bad. Because you overfarm as well, one fire spin more onto the Primeape, and if you have thrown the side directly, you had the game, I think.
Yeah, it was super unfortunate. I was just very nervous and I couldn't calm my nerves enough. But yeah, unfortunate. But yeah, what can you do? So game 2, I decided to go with the same. Let's say I think I decided to go with the same team because my gameplay was perfect. I had that game 1, but I threw it. So I still think my team is good. So I'm going to do the exact same thing. And yeah, I see a Quag, and I'm really happy because if anywhere I want to see the Quag, it's here.
Yeah, definitely. Looking at your backline, you definitely want to see the Quag here, and I think Tufches realized that, and that's why he's committing to a shield on the Quag, because he knows that he will need the Quag at some point.
Exactly, and what I know that is he went for the Earthquake, which is smart, because if he goes straight Stone Edge in the zeros, the Munchlax picks his matchup, and he actually counts like a boss, and he throws just before, but I know I will get to this body slam, so I just shield, and I'm going to play the 1 shield, and if he doesn't shield, it's going to take him out, or at least put him so close to the red that I can lick him down. I'm super happy with this one, so now I just have to see what he brings in. Whatever he brings in, I'm going to swap in my Ninetales because I'm happy with this matchup. And this is a Night Slash, unlike last time, I am not shielding it.
And in one shield, Ninetales can go straight Weather Ball and pick the matchup. Here the Primeape, I think, had like 1 counter advantage, so that might flip the matchup.
Yeah, and here it's also unfortunate he got the CMP. The CMP, what is it called? It's not CMP because I think it's 1 turn after, so he was able to swap. I was kind of disappointed after game 1, and when this happened, I was like totally dejected. I was like, what is happening to me? So now I need to deal with this Mandibuzz and also the Primeape.
Yeah, so now your win con is to try to sack at some point to at
I did
least
try here.
Be able to have an area base.
Exactly. I did try to sack here and it didn't work out. I think last game also I tried a sack swap. I'm not sure. I think I will try a sack swap again in this game, but it didn't work out, which is unfortunate. But I'm just going to go straight aerialist and see what happens, and hope for the best. I know he's actually overcharging because he had a little bit more energy, but yeah, I'm gonna just do what I had to do and see what happens.
Because he's putting you in a range where even the counter damage could be in take you out.
Exactly, and I swapped in my Munchlax. I should not have. What I also noticed is the switch timer is almost up, and I would lose because I know he has back-to-back air slashes, and the switch time's up, and I win with 1 HP. It was super close, but me swapping in my Munchlax gave him a win condition. Because I was at my aerial ace, I should have just thrown and I would have taken that match very easily. But yeah, I was very nervous. We both were 4-0 and we were both on our toes. And game 3, I do exactly the same thing because my team is working and I need to do something stupid to lose. So I'm just going to do exactly the same thing.
And when you saw that Quag lead, did you think that it was the exact same lineup from two sides?
Yeah, I thought so. And he made a mistake here by going Stone Edge, because you need to land the Earthquake to win this matchup in the zero shields. So if he goes Stone Edge, I'm really happy here.
Yeah, but he was probably expecting shield from you, as he was straight Earthquake.
Yeah, but he goes Stone Edge here again. I survived.
As well.
I survived, and I take 2 shields. And at this point, I should have won this game, but I was an idiot, and I let him farm these few. What do you call that?
Much shots.
Few extra mud shots is going to change how this game is going to be played out. Because if it wasn't for those, then I could have gotten to this foul play before, and I wouldn't have had to shield this. But yeah, plenty of ways to win this game, but I was very nervous and I think I threw this. But let's say I could have double shielded and I would have still won the game. But it was unfortunate. He comes in with the Mandibuzz, and I'm hoping at this point that he has a Primeape at the back. Yeah.
Yeah, you're still okay if it's the Primeape indeed in the back, because you still have one shield.
Yeah. And he managed to sneak one Snarl in, and that also helped him get CMP, because I've noticed that he went CMP over my Mandibuzz. So that's also a shame, unfortunately. And at this point I was like, okay, I'm gonna try to get to his Air Slash and do as much damage as possible. I was hoping he would throw, but he was not throwing, which is unfortunate. Here, he tries to snipe. But what I should have done here is I should have shielded here. Okay, I did shield. Alright, that's good play. I go straight for the side shot. And now my goal is to get to do as much damage to that Mandibuzz as I can. And I know I am one Snarl away from what is it called? From, let's say, an Air Lace. So I just need to get it really close to the red. But Tufsha plays amazingly here. He sees his win con and he just decides to farm just enough that he doesn't die, and he's also one away from the Air Slash and even CMP.
Wow! Wow! Amazing! That's amazing. This game will have been the perfect game for a final, right?
Yeah, it was
amazing.
Super close. Yeah, and after this game, I think both of us were shivering for like 5 minutes.
I can imagine.
After that loss, I was kind of chilled out because, all right, I now no longer have the pressure to do, let's say, a 7-0. So then I go up against this trainer Shogi. She has a very, very, very spicy lineup. She bought Shadow, Cancer, Ninetales. The only good thing I see here is that, positive is that since it's a Shadow, it loses to Mandy in the 0s and 1s. And unless the Celio decides to Aurora beam me, the Mandibuzz still wins in the 0s. So that's basically my game plan.
And the Shadow Ninetales as well, I think, loses against the Primeape in the one shield because it's a Shadow.
And also my goal is to also try to bait out the Monkey Boy. So I see the Primeape game 1. I lead Mandibuzz, as I told you. I have pretty decent 0 shield matchups. And I'm just going to play the 0 shields here and see what happens. And he switches to a Pelipper. I'm very happy with this because I have an energy lead and I have a Hypno. So I'm good with this.
But you are still staying in with the Mandibuzz.
Yes, because look at it this way: if you take out the Pelipper, what else does he have to deal with my let's say with my Hypno and Primeape? Nothing. Especially if I have a shield advantage like I have now. So I'm happy here because if she comes back with the Primeape, I have my Hypno. I'm just gonna confusion it down. Even if this kills me, I don't really mind. But yeah. So all energy is gone, and I'm a happy man. So shield advantage 2-1. Not a lot in his team. In her team, threaten my Hypno at the back. So I bring in my Primeape
and giving this one counter advantage to the Primeape that could be huge.
Exactly. And we had this. Oh yeah. I kind of knew this was a Night Slash, so I'm gonna let it go, and I'm gonna close combat. I think. Yeah. So no shield means the Primeape is gone. So I swap to Hypno. I can Confusion this down and back-to-back Ice Punch. 2-1 shield Silas. I'm sitting very comfortably here, and I know I shouldn't be shielding Ninetales, but I'm happy to.
Yeah, in a way it makes sense because you still have 2 shields, and that as well impedes your opponent to Dragon Breath you down in a way if you are too low on HP on the Hypno. So that makes sense as to use the shield.
So yeah, basically that's my game plan. I was thinking of bringing Probopass, but then I did not. In retrospect, now I see Pro could have been really good, and since my team did so well in game 1, I'm just going to go with the same thing and hope the same things happen. So yeah, I get the lead.
Indeed, we have the exact same lead.
Yeah, but she's playing it differently. She's going straight Ninetales, and she gets the boost. So this is a little bit more difficult for me now.
Yeah, and Primeape in this cup, if he gets the boost, is unstoppable. It's amazingly unstoppable.
But what I also notice is that once people get the boost, they want to try and shield it as much as possible. So I'm not going to shield my Mandy at all. If it takes my Mandy out, I'm happy. But my goal right about now is to get it as low as possible, right? And she had to throw here because she was afraid of me getting to the air slash, and I'm happy to come in with the Primeape counter down. I'm also having a shield advantage, so I'm really happy with what's happening here. So I stay in with Primeape. I'm good here because these Night Slashes do hurt, and I hope I can get to another, but I did not.
So you are committing to a shield in order to threaten the last shield, because at this stage I guess you are assuming he has
it's his Vilos in the back,
yes. In the back, yeah.
And it is his Vilos. It is going to come down really clutch because I need to predict the body slam, and hopefully I can get to another Ice Punch. So this one came too quick, so I kind of know it's a body slam. Now my win con is basically try to land this Ice Punch and counter down with my Primeape. I have enough HP to get like 2 counters in, and that's all I can hope. And for some reason I decided to not shield here, and yeah, so it's gonna be close, and we had a frame drop, but I guess it was mutual lag, and then
yeah,
I could
that
counter
was
it down.
very close, and that was a very ballsy move to decide to no shield on the Hypno against those Violus.
Yeah, because I was afraid what would happen if I couldn't get to the move and she farmed it down, and it's like it was a mutual frame. I think the frames both stopped for both of us because I took damage from the Dragon Breath, but yeah, still close. So yeah, I'm now close, yeah. 5-1, and I'm happy. And at this point, I was like, oh, all right, whatever it is, it's positive for me already, so I'm happy. And I see this another lineup. So many Gals today, and this is a Shadow Hypno. So I'm kind of looking at this lineup, and I'm like, oh wow, my Hypno beats all of these in the 2 shields. So basically, my key to win here is the Hypno. I'm not sure if I use Munchlax at all.
When you see the Shadow Hypno, what were your thoughts? Because you know, if you listen to the people, basically when they see a Shadow Hypno, they are assuming it's an elemental punch, double elemental punch. But in this cup, it doesn't seem to be the way to go. So what were you thinking? Let's say a Thunder Punch, Ice Punch, or Fire Punch, Ice Punch? I was
just thinking it's Ice Punch Shadow Ball.
Yeah.
It's a default assumption, you know. But let's see. To be honest, I was never going to shield my Hypno if it's against his Hypno, so I was just gonna play it out. Game 1 is when I test how it works out, and as you see his team, like Mandy beats all of this to 0 shields. So I am totally happy here, leading my Mandibuzz. Gal, if you throw at the right times, it's an easy win for you, even if it goes straight lunge. Frostlass, you also win in the 0s, and Primeape, you win in the 0s. Wishcash is the only problem because it can go straight Blizzard. But if you shield the second Blizzard, then you still pick it up. So it's pretty good as a lead here. So I go with my Mandy lead, and I'm happy to see the Xylos here. And I'm just going to, go straight Aerialist.
And trying to grab a shield.
Exactly. And if I grab the shield advantage, I can always come in with my Primeape, shield once, counter down the Xylos, and that will give me enough HP. Enough energy to actually threaten the Shadow Hypno.
Yeah, and take this shield quite easily back. So it's a good strategy to use both Primeape and Frostlass in this cup. Those are 2 months that are amazingly good with energy advantage. So if you can create the right conditions for them to grab those extra fast move, they can be deadly.
Exactly. So I throw in my Primeape there, just so that, just to see what he does. And he throws his energy and swaps into his own Primeape. I should have just gone one more counter. I was unsure if I would get to, get to a close combat, but I should have just thrown the close combat, taken the shield advantage, and this would have made the game a lot more simpler. But at this point, I am happy to let this go because it's not boosted, and I can just confusion this down before it gets to another move. So if a Xylos comes in, I will have to shield whatever the move is, but I can always confusion down the Xylos because it doesn't have enough. And here I tried to sack swap, it did not work.
Yeah.
So that was unfortunate for me. Yeah, and he comes in with the Wishcash. I made the mistake here. I should have gone straight ice punches. I threw a Shadow Ball. But yeah, when it's in a game like this, you always make mistakes. And yeah. So here I'm going to go for the Shadow Ball. I throw it, and I know this is not enough to KO. It's not nearly enough to KO the Wishcash. And I'm going to try to catch it again, and it did not work again.
Yeah. The sacks, they are let's say not that easy those last days. And is it going to mud bomb you down? Yes. Oof, that's rough.
It's rough. But what I notice is that my team still works. So I'm just gonna switch it because I've been doing so well with my Mandy, with my Munchlax. So I'm gonna bring Munchlax here. And see what Munch can do for me.
Yeah, and this for your opponent seems like a very good matchup because he resists the leak. But as we saw earlier, you are in a decent spot.
Exactly, and he goes Dark Pulse, which is which is very nice for me because I can get to my second body slam and make him commit a shield, but he did not. So I want to immediately swap into my Mandibuzz. Two shields, I win all of it. But he goes Wishcash. I see the Wishcash, so I bring in my Primeape. This is really really annoying for me.
You can tank this mud bomb.
Yeah. So I farm for back-to-back Night Slashes and throw the close combat here, hoping he doesn't shield. And he doesn't shield.
That's huge.
And I'm really happy here that happened. I should have thrown a close combat, but I just went Night Slash. Of course, it's good, but now it's going to be super close because Gal with an energy lead can take this. It's 2-2 shields. I didn't shield. I'm not shielding the first one, hoping it's a launch, but it's a discharge. This puts me in a very precarious situation.
Yeah, because now he might be able to volt switch you down, maybe.
Exactly. He can now go lunges and then do little reduce my damage, which is clearly unfortunate. So at this point, my goal is I see the Volt Switch coming. I want the Munchlax to take this Volt Switch. So I want to swap to the Munchlax on this one. There. I swap, I do a few licks, I reset my debuff, and I need to get one more.
That's huge. That's huge. Especially given that you were down one game, so that was like, let's say, the only way for you to remain alive in this game.
Yeah, that was basically my only win con, unfortunately, and I had to go for it. It's a game 3, it's a decider. I wanted to bring Probe. I went with the same line because I thought it would work, and I get this Mandibuzz lead into this kill line slot. So
yeah, that's.
So I'm happy here because exactly, and if I throw on the 6th foul play, what was I saying? Yeah, if you throw 6th on your 6th foul play, you win this in the 0 shields. Or 6th NAR, because you get to this foul play, and they are now forced to shield. Because if they don't shield, you can what is it called? Yeah. I'm really happy with this. I can tank this. I can shield this and I can farm down because he's never going to get to another move. And it's barely any energy, so I just immediately swap into my Primeape. Or I change my mind and swap into my Hypno. Goes to Swilers again. I am super happy with this, like really happy, because I want my Primeape to get energy. And that's basically what my what my Hypno will help me do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, create the right condition for the Primeape to be loaded on energy.
Yeah. And here, yeah, I gotta shield once, and I gotta farm this down. No other way, and I need to try and land the close combat onto the Witch Cache. So what I know here is that he's been always shielding my first move. So he died to the close combat last time, so I know he's afraid. So I go for the close combat, and I know that he will probably get to the Mud Bomb 1 before me, but I hope that he would think I would sack swap. And I caught, and since he didn't see the sack swap, he threw one move late, and that helped me seal this match out.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, I had to bet on my opponent thinking that I was going to sack swap.
Yeah, that's high level gameplay here, and that's how you clinched the 6-1, reaching the ace and the 2nd spot in Belgium for a few days, I guess. Yeah. But that's an impressive performance.
Yeah, I will go back to 3rd or 4th based on how Kev does in this tournament.
Students and girls that PvP, I really do hope you like this tournament, that it's going to help you out if you are still struggling in building your team of 6 for the Vortex Cup. Don't forget to subscribe, to comment, and to like this video, and especially to stay tuned, because we are going to bring you out more Vortex Cup content in the next days. Bye.
See you guys.